Thank you very much, everyone, for your patience waiting in the waiting room. We were hoping to let you in a few minutes early, but we ran into this issue with screen sharing. But thanks to a youth, Vioma, we came through and here we are. So folks, several of you have heard about HungerMitao. A few of you who have not, you will learn a little bit about that today. But more importantly, you will learn about this exciting program that we are launching today, which is the Youth Ambassador Program. In the past, HungerMitao has been around for over 4 years. We will be finishing our 5th year this year on September 29th. So in the past, we have had youth get involved in a variety of ways. In fact, we had a program called Youth Against Hunger. Youth have done wonderful things, from food drives to coming out to volunteer at the food bank, to very unique and exciting programs like the concert. There was a high school concert competition that was conceptualized by a youth and fully produced and delivered by the youth. And they enabled about almost 50,000 meals through that concert. So as I mentioned, youth had a variety of programs and ideas that they implemented to help the North Texas Food Bank. One thing we did not find was that things were not happening in a sustained manner. So, we met up with the youth and we said, what can we do to make sure that this is in a sustained manner? And that's where this whole concept of Youth Ambassador Program came about. So today we are excited to roll this out. And mostly we are excited because this is a program that was conceptualized based on input from the youth. And today is going to be discussed and shared with you by the youth. So I won't take too much time, but I just want you to know that over the next hour, you will learn about the hunger issue. You will learn about the HungerMitao program. You will learn about the Youth Ambassador Program, what's in it for you, and how you can make an impact, and how you can participate. A few ground rules. First and foremost, if anybody has any issues with recording or pictures being taken, this is a good time to sign off, because we will be recording this session and we will be taking pictures, Zoom screen pictures, etc. And we will be using that across social media. So just be aware of that. We are recording it so that some of you who have not, who have signed in but couldn't join in, could also have a chance to maybe look back on. We highly encourage you to submit your questions over chat. We don't want to lose time by pausing in the middle of a speaker or a presenter answering questions. So submit your questions over chat, and we will definitely, during the Q&A session, try to address as many of them as possible. And during the Q&A session, we will even open up if that makes sense. Be active, friends. Be active on the chat. So without further delay, I want to introduce you to the 4 wonderful speakers we have today. 3 youths and one of the co-founder of HungerMitao. So Vioma Patel, she's our first speaker, and she'll speak about the hunger issue, not only in here, but hunger issue that's facing humanity. A wonderful speaker. You'll enjoy listening to her. You will hear from Jace Mehta, who will talk about the Youth Ambassador Program. You'll hear about Nikhil Chepuri, who will talk a little bit about the benefits and the advantages for the youth to get involved, as well as the process to get involved with the Youth Ambassador Program. Anna Asawa, she will talk a little bit about the HungerMitao initiative, the movement itself. So with that, we'll jump right in there. Vioma, I can go to the next slide, and actually you can skip the next slide and go right into your slide and start your presentation.
course. Thank you. So hello, everyone. My name again is Vioma. And once again, I want to take a second to thank all of you for spending your Saturday morning or Sunday morning, excuse me, learning how you can be a better part of our community. So I want to start off by defining a very simple, but obviously the most important word of today's presentation, which is hunger. So what that means is when an individual experiences severe food insecurity and they have to go days or without eating. And this can be due to a lot of things. This can be due to lack of money, access to food, and other necessary resources, which I'll get into in a minute. So currently around the world, more than enough food is present for the people who are hungry, exactly 4 times. And but still there's as many as 829 million people that go to bed hungry. And so this can be equivalently compared to the 10.5% of US households that are not food insecure, and is 20%, or every 1 in 5 Texas children who also experience food insecurity. And so with this said, I think it becomes very clear that hunger is a very interconnected problem, especially with aspects such as poverty, and it mixes in societal, political, and demographic and social factors. And so what I mean by this is that people who live in poverty frequently face household food insecurity. And so this means that they're stuck in a never-ending loop. And so this is kind of what we tackle through HungerMitao and what we hope to achieve through all of our initiatives, such as the food drives and raising funds. And so people who are stuck in the cycle, they're forced to rely on inappropriate care practices. They live in unsafe environments and have low access to water and sanitization, and especially food as well. And so this all then comes back to contributing to further hunger. And so with that said, we don't usually realize the secondhand devastation that comes with someone who goes hungry. What I mean by that, again, is that children who face hunger and food insecurity and malnutrition, they're proven to have a higher risk of, other problems medically as well, such as overweight, obesity, and chronic diseases. So what we have to take away from this is that there's so many factors that not only cause hunger, but hunger itself causes a million different issues that a person has to deal with. And so what we have to keep in mind is that for these reasons and so many endless others, this is exactly why HungerMitao is taking a step forward, and especially encouraging youth that are our age, who can really make an impact not only now, but in our future as well, to take action against food waste, and in turn take a step forward in, like Mr. Asaba was saying earlier, environmental and sustainability and food waste as well.
Excellent. So Vioma gave you a broad brush about hunger, what hunger is, right? Many of us, we do hunger voluntarily, right? We do fasting, we do dieting, but put yourself in the shoes of those who can't afford it, right? And they just don't have to go for 24-hour fast or an intermittent fast. We're talking about days, weeks, months, they go without food, right? You don't need to go across the world to see that hunger issue. It's right here in America. That's what shocked the heck out of me and my wife when we learned about that 53 million people, and especially because of COVID, they turned to the food bank. Every one of us has seen the long lines of people, waiting in line to get some food during the pandemic days. By the way, that still continues. So it's not like it is done and we are behind it. No, because of the war, because of the variation of the pandemic and all the other issues, right? This issue continues to kind of dog us. So in America, we have such a huge issue right here in North Texas, right? Almost 1 million people, 900,000 people do not know where the next meal is coming from, right? Several of you are aware of this. I mean, can you imagine 1 in 6 North Texan, of which 1 in 5 is a school-going children, right? I mean, this could be your classmates. who are struggling to put food on the table, whose families are struggling to put food on the table, right? And because of the pandemic, this whole thing has just gone out of the window. I mean, the demand has grown like 18% in just 1 year. So this is some statistics. And by the way, these stats are from 2021, 2022, the numbers have gone even higher. The North Texas Food Bank, our local food bank, by end of June 30, 2021, which is the end of their fiscal year, their financial year, they distributed from July 1, 2020 through June 30, 2021, they distributed 125 million meals locally here in North Texas. Just before the pandemic, they had distributed roughly 72 or 74 million meals. Look at the jump, right? So that the need is high, 40% increase since pre-pandemic. They estimate that they will have to serve 130 million meals annually just in North Texas to ensure no one goes hungry. So just wanted to give you a perspective of where we live. We are seeing this issue. While we want to solve the world problem, but there's an old saying that my father always told us and taught us was, charity begins at home. Let us take care of our own family, our community, our neighborhood, our city, our county, our country, while we are also stepping towards helping others. But it will be a paradox. It will be an irony if we are worrying about other part of the world while there are issues right here in our own front yard and backyard. So I think at this point, we'll slide over to the next one, which is where Anna will speak about the HungerMitao program. Anna?
Awesome. Thank you. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So let me talk about HungerMitao. And I'm very proud and happy to be in front of all of you youngsters because I know all of you will change the world. HungerMitao was started, as Raj said, when we found that there was so much hunger around us. And all of you have been to India. In India, you see hungry people everywhere. Right here, you don't see it. But that doesn't mean it doesn't exist. You just heard the numbers. There are so many people who, if they're not starving all day, they're eating the wrong foods because that's all they can afford. They can only afford a burger. Imagine just eating a burger every day. That's terrible for your health. So nutritious food is what North Texas Food Bank provides. And what we thought would be great is the Indian American community is awesome. Each of you are great at school. You're doing all these science camps. You are being spelling bee champions. You're being valedictorians. Your parents are working. You are living a comfortable life. But that's what the general community here sees, that we are excelling in everything, but we don't become visible as a whole troop of the community coming to volunteer, right? When we talk about giving back, somehow India and India's causes are in our mind. Yes, India's our home and we need to do that, but we have made this country our home. So we also need to become visible as people giving back here because these are issues that we need to be concerned with. So 4 years ago, maybe we're coming up to 5 now in September, we started this movement called HungerMitao. It's not an organization, it's just a movement to say, hey, Indian American community, there is this need here for food, the most basic of needs. How can we engage here? The food bank is doing an amazing job distributing food, making food accessible to people who need it. How can we support the food bank? So in about 5 years now, 4.5 years, through HungerMitao efforts, we have enabled almost a little more than 40 million nutritious meals across the country, across the US. A few things about HungerMitao. It's a 100% volunteer-driven movement. We don't handle money. You know, we connect donors with the food bank. So we are not a middleman for anything at all. There's no politics involved. There's no religion involved. It's like, okay, we need to bring our power to the food bank so the food bank can serve anybody who needs food. It started with the spirit of give where you live. You know, like Raj said, charity begins at home. We made this place our home. So we need to get engaged here. And that is why, you know, we keep saying, hey, give where you live. So many children are hungry here, and you should be concerned. There are kids your age. You would know how that feels if you had to go without food for 2 or 3 days, for 1 day, right? So this should be unacceptable to all of you. HungerMitao also, this model has been very popular with the food bank, with other communities. We have started, we helped the Chinese American community start a movement like this. They call it Ni Hao. And now it's also being kicked off in the Latin American community. So they are starting this also. So I wanted you to understand that is the background of HungerMitao, and we are counting on each one of you to become cogs in this whole wheel, because without cogs, a wheel doesn't turn. We need the power and the ideas and the entrepreneurship that all of you bring. I'll be here for Q&A towards the end, but for now, this would be it. Thanks, Vyoma.
Anna, thank you very much. This was wonderful. This is the first time I think we have done a single slide HungerMitao presentation. Kudos to you. All right, Jace, are you on?
Yes, I'm on. Hi, everyone.
Go for it.
I'm a sophomore at Wakeland High School, and I'm really excited to just share with you a little bit about the program, Youth Ambassador Program itself, and why it's important for youth to engage. So the youth population makes up over 10% of the United States. So that's a staggering amount, yet we just don't see that same level of participation in the youth population as we do in adults. So that's a big problem, and that's another thing that the program is trying to address. So the Youth Ambassador Program, our goal is to empower.
I have to focus.
Oh,
Get out.
please mute.
Please mute your phones.
So we want the youth to take action in the community. So that's the thing that our goal is. So we want to give students a platform to learn about these issues and to take action about them, because youth are the future. We are going to be the ones that have to deal with these problems in the future. So that's the spirit behind the formation of this program. So if you could go to the next slide. The Youth Ambassador Program is a group of middle and high school students around North Texas who want to participate in this fight against hunger. So we'll offer a couple of volunteer and social events, which I'll expand on a little more in the next slide. And we'll also have several benefits and opportunities, just for example, leadership and entrepreneurial skills. So.
Great.
So
this is the exciting part, right?
Yeah, this is the most exciting part of the presentation. So we'll have 2 exclusive Youth Ambassador Program events per year. We'll have 2 national food drives where students can participate, one in March, one in August. We'll have monthly YIP meetings. Most of these meetings will be virtual. However, time to time, we will have in-person meetings for students to get to know one another and for us to plan our fundraisers. We'll also, this is actually one of the coolest parts, we'll have an annual Shark Tank-like event in which students can present their ideas on how we can address this hunger issue in our community. And the most interesting part is that once these students present these ideas, the food bank or HungerMitao can actually put them into action. So I think that's one of the most fun parts that we'll have in the program next year. So at the end of the year, we'll also have an awards night program for students that have really gone above and beyond, have shown their potential. And then we'll have social events, because it's important to remember, although the key goal of this program is to encourage youth involvement. We also want students to have a good experience, to make connections, and to overall have a fun time during this volunteer program. So unless Raj Uncle has anything to add, I'll pass it to Nikhil.
Yeah, Jace, I'm going to just quickly touch upon a few points here on this slide, because as youth on this call, your first question in your mind, okay, I know about the hunger. I understand a little bit about what the food bank does. I realize that we're trying to get the Indian community youth together under this HungerMitao program. What exactly is in there for me? So this slide is really talking to you about that. The two events that we're talking about, the very first bullet, the volunteer event, imagine an exclusive youth volunteer event. That means it is only youth, very few adults who are basically going to be outside, you coming together as a force to volunteer for 2.5 hours twice a year. I mean, that will be exciting. Secondly, conducting food drives during the month of March. The next month, August, we are doing our HungerMitao month food drive. So you get to participate in that and make a difference. In fact, at an individual level, you will be able to track how many meals you have been able to enable, and then collectively, how many meals the community is able to enable. The monthly Yfp meetings will be meetings like these, where every month we will try to, based on everybody's schedule, we'll have an hour-long call. We'll get together, it will be driven by youth. We will be in the background moderating, but it'll be driven by the youth. And then the Shark Tank event, etc., that Jace mentioned, it is exciting. We did one of that already and got some good reviews. So Jace, thank you very much for covering that. And Nikhil, are you on? And by the way, Nikhil is on vacation. He's currently in Hyderabad, but he's so committed. He said, I don't care what time of the day it is, I am joining in. I hope you are there, Nikhil, because I gave you one heck of an introduction.
Yup, I'm right over here, Mr. Raj.
Great, take it on. Take it away.
Hi, everyone. So I'm Nikhil, and I'm going to be explaining the benefits and opportunities of becoming an ambassador. So coming from a younger person, we're often disregarded when it comes to helping out in matters that are kind of seen as for adults only. This can be anything from your parents not allowing you to stay home alone to not being fully respected when it comes to the validity of your work. The point is that younger people need a way and an environment where they can be beneficial to a cause and feel welcomed at the same time. And this program does just that. The program will allow younger people to make a change in the global, regional, and local epidemic against the fight of hunger and food security. The program will also help teamwork and communication, as you can see in the second picture. Because as an introvert, or somewhat of it, this program really helped me to voice out my ideas in a manner of freedom, to where everyone could voice out their concerns without any concerns, I guess. And lastly, you'll also be able to be a part of the proud Indian American community. And I feel like the whole underlying idea of HungerMitao is to kind of show that the Indian American community can also make a difference.
Yep.
And that's a major part of the organization. So our generation is ultimately a part of what happens tomorrow. So who's ready to be a part of it?
Great. So with that, let me jump in for a quick second, Nikhil, and I will draw people's attention that besides the opportunities that Jace mentioned of the activities that will be made available to the youth ambassador, what are the benefits and opportunities that they will have? So if you look at the bullets in the bottom, so first of all, you as youth, you are required to have so many volunteer hours. So here's an opportunity. Rather than scattering your volunteer hours in 10 different places, you can concentrate towards a cause as big as hunger, as basic as hunger, right? And earn volunteer hours. So you'll have many opportunities to earn volunteer hours through the Youth Ambassador Program, through the North Texas Food Bank. Collaborations with North Texas Food Bank for, again, fundraising opportunities, the opportunity to learn leadership, entrepreneurial, and financial and marketing skills, just like what Nikhil mentioned. I mean, Nikhil is a self-declared introvert who became extrovert. Thank you to the food bank and the HungerMitao cause. So we are really, really proud of him. And so each youth here will get an opportunity. This is your platform. You'll get to speak. You'll get to present. You will be the voice to the community that will raise awareness about the hunger issue. And we will provide you the data. We will coach you. We'll mentor you. But you will be the one who will be speaking. And what fantastic talent you will be building at an early stage in your life. Also, once you join the Youth Ambassador Program, you'll be a proud member. You'll call yourself as hey, I'm a HungerMitao brand ambassador, right? I am the youth. And then the food bank and HungerMitao will also issue a certificate, letter of appreciation to you at the end of your year of membership to this wonderful program. So, and by the way, these are few benefits. There's a lot more benefits you'll get out of this thing, a lot more opportunities that will come out, and you will be shaping it as youth. So with that, we'll go to the next slide, Vyoma. And Nikhil, in all fairness to you, because you ran into some issues there. So I have also asked Anna to maybe quickly walk through that. If it's okay with you, let Anna go through it first, or you want, that's okay? All right. Anna, would you be able to do this?
Sure. Okay, so Raj, I imagine we will send the link out to everybody.
Yeah, that we will do. As soon as the presentation is, the session is over, we'll send the link out. I will also send a copy of the presentation out, or some slides of the presentation to them.
So what I would suggest is I've written down step by step how you need to start your own fundraising page on this platform. It's a platform that's used by North Texas Food Bank. So anybody who makes a donation on this platform, on this link or your page, that money will go directly to the food bank. You don't have to go around collecting checks or cash or nothing like that. You will just share the link and people will donate. So essentially, each of you that wants to join the YAP will create your own page. And you will start with your own donation of $100. That is one of the requirements of joining the YAP. It's a $100 donation for a year. That's it. Not asking for anything more. That's the requirement. If you want to, you have a birthday, you have those prizes you want to bring in, presents, that's totally up to you. But so or we can't really go through this right now because it won't work for me.
So Anna, what we are going to do is quickly walk through the these things. I don't think we need to go through where people don't need to memorize it.
Yeah.
So we will quickly show them the screen itself. So if you want to touch on some highlights here.
Perfect. Yeah. So on this is the main screen that your link will take you to. Each of you need to click on this start fundraising button, the orange button. And that's how you will create your own page. So once you click on that, there's a lot of things you can do. You can raise money by fitness or things. What I clicked on was the light bulb, do your own thing. So just click on that. And now it takes you through, okay, what is your event going to be? I select something else. If you go to the drop-down box, yeah, just create something else. And you can follow the slide to take you through every single step here. And at the end of it, you will have created your own page.
I think on an event name, you can put an exciting name,
Right.
What's called Roaring Raj Against Hunger. I mean, something like that, or whatever you want to, and make it an exciting name, because that will be at the top of your page and that will be your exclusive page.
It shows, absolutely, it shows your ambition, it shows your creativity. This whole page, we have populated where there's some content, we've pre-populated it with content, so you have it. If you don't want to get into recreating any content, you can just go with what you have there. Fill in the blanks. It says, I am so-and-so in this grade, in this school, just fill in those blanks.
So,
or
maybe Vyoma can just create a dummy page here right now. Vyoma, you want to
she'll need an email, etc.
I have my own page. Let me see if I can open that up.
Okay, that would be great. Excellent. If you just go, if you scroll down, Vyoma, it will show there. If you scroll down, there you go.
So I have to change the name, but other than that, like Mrs. Asava was saying, this is, the fill in the blank talking about, what we're doing as a program. So
Vyoma, how was your experience setting up the page?
yeah, no, for sure. I think for me, even without the step-by-step instructions, I was easily able to, go through, because the website itself, the Just Giving fundraising website takes you through step-by-step. And by the time you're done, you can put in your picture and fill in the blanks. And it's actually really cool. You're able to click on different, subcategories, and you're able to see how much, food and how much funding is already raised. And it's a great way to keep track of your progress.
Excellent, excellent. Folks, if this is too much information right now, as I had promised, this slide that Anna is walking us through, we will share this with you along with other slides, as well as the link to set up your own page. Anna, do you want to talk a little bit more about the last few bullets on this slide?
Yeah, let me do that. So, all the instructions are here, but I will even offer, if at least four or five of you want to have not a one-on-one, but I can do a Zoom call and kind of walk you through how to do this. So I'll offer you that. But once you've created your page, make any changes, any picture you want, personalize it, make it meaningful. And then the goal, what I would suggest is, once you've created your page, make your own $100 donation. And after that, you share your link with your friends, your family members. If you have an event coming up, this is basically your page. Once you have made your $100 donation, you have joined the YAP. After that, you can use this link to put it on your social media channels, to share it with your friends, to ask them, share it with your parents and your aunties and uncles, anywhere, because it's an online donation. There's no constraint. You don't have to go pick up anything from anywhere. So at the start, once you've finished creating your page, please make your own donation and then send the link out. That would be my suggestion.
That's great. Thank you very much, Anna. That was wonderful. I think we have one more slide on this topic, is it?
Yeah, I think we do. Yeah. So like I said, the story, there's a default content that's already provided. Fill in the blanks or totally change it, right? You're great to do that. Yep. Make sure you save your updates, and you can click on the view at the top bar to see what your page will look like before you've even published it out. Okay. You can make edits, make your donation, and then share your page with your family and friends.
That's right. So people have been creative who have set up their own pages where for their birthdays, for example, if they feel that there is no pressure, but if they feel like, hey, instead of gifts, make a donation to the food bank, or, for my birthday, also make a donation to the food bank, whatever way. This is your link. So anybody who makes donation through your link, you will be able to track the number of dollars, which translates into meals. And I don't know whether I share this with you or not, but every $1 donated to the food bank results in 3 nutritious meals for the food challenge people right here in our neighborhood in North Texas. So the $100 that you will start with to join the YAP will translate into 300 meals that you have enabled right off the bat. And then everybody else who donates to your page, that translates into 3 meals. Now imagine when you are applying for your college applications, etc., just building your own profile, your resume, you can proudly say that here are how many 100 or 1,000 meals that I have enabled. That's something that, and you could have image of your own page that you can take a screenshot, include that in your profile, etc. So the possibilities are endless of how it can benefit you, and the possibilities are obvious of how you can benefit others in a simplest way.
Raj, I also wanted to highlight that when the students, once they've created their own page, they can use the same link to participate in the 2 food drives.
Yep.
Right? So the one that's coming up in August, the HungerMitao month, you can use the same link to share with your friends and family, to say, hey, you know, I'm raising food for North Texas Food Bank. Would you help? In your neighborhoods, you know, anybody would make a donation of $5, $10, $20, and it all adds to money that you have influenced.
Yep. Very good point, Anna. It's call to action. So next slide, please, Vyoma. One more. I love this slide. This is currently work in process, folks. We are discussing this with North Texas Food Bank, but this is how it's going to shape up. So the funds that you are going to raise through your link, the goal is that for every $100 that you raise from 3 or more donors, you will earn 1 volunteer service hour. Because there is a recognition here that in order to send the link out, in order to, you know, convince people about the hunger issue locally and to donate, it takes effort. So you need to get volunteer credit hour for that. So that is the message we are taking back to the North Texas Food Bank. We expect them to approve it, but I'm just sharing this with you. I should have put draft on it, but this is what our goal is that besides volunteering that you will do physically at the food bank through the volunteering opportunities, you could also earn volunteer service hours through fundraising by applying your talent, marketing, communications, etc. Your volunteer credit hours will be calculated twice a year. So we will do one toward the end of the year and one in end of June. So that's the plan. And then we can inform you that if you have raised, let's say $300 from 9 donors, that is 3 service credit hours. Also, for the first $100 that you will donate, you will automatically get 1 volunteer hour because you have taken the time for today's session. You have taken the time to also set up your own page and configure it. So you'll earn 1 volunteer hour. For that one, you do not need 3 donors and $100. Just your $100 donation will earn you 1 volunteer hour credit. So that is the one thing I wanted to talk about a volunteer service credit hour. And next slide, let's move to the, are you ready to YAP? I love the short form, Youth Ambassador Program, YAP. So this is the time for Q&A. What I'm going to recommend is we can stop the screen share, Vyoma, and everybody can right now, who has a question, either put it in the chat. If you feel like speaking, you want to come on and unmute yourself, but be respectful to make sure that somebody's talking, don't talk over them, wait for your turn. So open for question and answers. Who has the first question? And we have some wonderful gifts to give. Is that the only way to get questions here? By the way, we do have, one thing we forgot to tell you. When you join the Youth Ambassador Program, you will also have a nice swag bag. You'll have some good NTFB material or maybe T-shirts, and we have a beautiful HungerMitao sticker that we would love to make sure that each one of you can proudly display on your computers, iPads, iPhone, etc. So
while kids are thinking about questions, and guys, come on, don't be afraid to be the first one to ask a question. But let me tell you one other thing. Each of you are also kind of becoming ambassadors of HungerMitao, of North Texas Food Bank. So when you are in school, you are able to talk to people about, hey guys, did you know there was this much hunger? Can we collectively do something about it? Can our school do a food drive? Can our school students go together and volunteer? So there's all of these things, and that shows leadership on your behalf. So, you know, don't only think about what you saw on the slides. Let your minds think about how far you can take this. So who's asking the first question? Oh, I guess the program explained itself.
Well, I do want to take a minute here and thank Vioma, Jace, Nikhil, Anna. There are few adults who have also joined in, who are members of the HungerMitao Steering Council. I wanted to thank them because they all played a big role in making sure that, first of all, how to engage our youth, and then how to create a program with input from youth to that'll appeal to them, in which they have activities that they can enjoy doing and making a difference, and as well as they get the benefits associated with that. There is a question, I think. So all we need to do, part of the YIP, is to have $100 donation. That is a good start. I think I like the directness of the question. This is from Akshara Bade. Akshara, you're right. We want to make sure that it's not simply make a $100 donation and then forget about it. No, $100 donation is the first step, an important step. After that, we would love for you to engage and participate in these monthly calls, which will be hosted by youth, right? I don't want to use the word club because club can have a wrong meaning, but in a way, it's an association, a group that of like-minded youth coming together to brainstorm, to talk, to learn, right? We will bring in speakers from the North Texas Food Bank at your monthly meeting to give you the latest update on the hunger issue. Okay. Right? So we will do all of these things for you. People are still joining, which is good, I guess. So I hope I answered your question. A few more questions here.
Akshara, I see your question. Are we going to have socials? So the intention is yes, as long as it's safe, right? The social can be maybe a volunteer shift, right? And we'll reserve some extra time there. So, before volunteering or after volunteering, there is an opportunity for all of you to kind of socialize.
Right. And actually, once you all network, right, you will have your own social. It doesn't have to be under the umbrella of the Youth Ambassador program, right? You will all network and say, hey guys, I'm going to be at Starbucks. You want to come together? Let's brainstorm of what kind of initiative we can do in the month of August for the HungerMitao month to help feed the hungry, right? So you'll create your own smaller groups, subgroups to brainstorm, to come together around an idea. There was a question, Anna, about when was the Youth Ambassador program created? So it's happening now, right?
Today is the launch.
Today is the launch.
You guys are all charter members.
We are pioneers, my friend. One thing I do want to, one of our colleagues, Suvarna Kati, who is part of the HungerMitao Steering Council, she made a good suggestion. There is a sense of urgency here. Hunger comes 3 times a day. This is not something to sit there and contemplate. I look at the leadership of Vioma and Jace and Nikhil. Once they learned about the hunger issue, they say, you know what? This is not something that requires analysis paralysis. If I can do something, I want to do something. So with that in mind, August 15th is India's Independence Month. And it is because of August 15th, we celebrate HungerMitao month, the entire month of August. So I encourage everyone who are thinking about joining the Youth Ambassador program, please join as soon as possible, but definitely before August 15th. And also send the link out to your friends and colleagues, as Anna mentioned, saying that, hey, I am supporting the North Texas Food Bank, helping feed the hungry. during the month of August, we have HungerMitao month. Would you please consider making a donation, to this link? That's one way to do it. We also have some standard email language that we can send to you, that you can take it, customize it, and send it out, or create social media post, up to you. But by the way, these are just some suggestions. Nothing is like a required, but to make the needle move, to get this program going, we recommend that you join as soon as possible. Volunteer shifts, we're going to talk about that, Anna.
Yeah, so we will set up volunteer shifts at least twice a year for our youth ambassadors. So that is something that I'll be working with the food bank on. I wanted to just do a call out, Raj. Raj talked about innovative ways that youngsters have contributed to this effort. I think we may have Viraj,
Yes.
who has joined the call. So Viraj Bhalla is a youngster in Houston. And what he decided to do was, he was very distressed by the lines of hungry people that he saw on the screen. And what he decided to do was use recipes of his grandparents that he has cooked with. Every time his grandparents come visit Houston, he's in the kitchen with them, learning to make favorite dishes. So he put all of those together and created a book that he posted on Amazon. And he's selling that book and donating all the proceeds to Feeding America. So, I mean, yeah, kudos, really, kudos. We'll also put the title of his book in the chat. But see, there's no restriction on what you can do. Whatever your passion is, you can use that to do something good for the community. Right.
Actually, Viraj, if you can unmute yourself for a second. And by the way, Viraj is in Houston. So Viraj is participating in today's call to learn about how we are rolling out the YAP here in North Texas. And Viraj and his friends are going to take a lead and try to do the same thing in Houston. So if you have friends in Houston, right, let them know that YAP is going to be coming to Houston as well for helping the Houston food bank. But Viraj, a couple things. Tell us a little bit about your book, if I may. Just take a minute. Can you unmute yourself, Viraj?
Yeah. Hello, guys. Hello, everyone.
Hi, Viraj.
Yeah. So, like Mrs. Lasava said, I created my book a couple of years ago after COVID had started, because I saw a lot of people waiting outside of the food banks in need of food. So I decided to create a cookbook that included all of my grandparents' recipes from when I cooked with them when they came here from India. So I compiled a book of all of the recipes and decided to sell it to friends and family. And then everybody really liked the book. So I decided to publish it on Amazon. And so far it's done really well. We've been able to raise over $4,000 for Feeding America. And I've also gotten the chance to go to India and donate to other charities that are based in India, as well as to everyone who needs food, including people who go to my own school. I help them out as well. So yeah, I think it's been a really great journey, and I think I'm excited to grow it even more.
Thank you, Viraj. Viraj, would you also put in the chat the name of your book, as well as I believe you have your own website that you have created?
Correct. Yeah, I can do that.
You can put that in. That'll be wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Great. So I guess, Vyoma, I would love for you to share your perspective. Vyoma and we met up over a Zoom call a month or maybe a couple months ago. And she had really dug into this hunger issue around the world. And the whole irony of food going to waste while people going hungry. So she had some brilliant ideas, and that's how we got connected. So Vyoma, you want to talk a little bit about your journey?
Yeah, I would love to. So I think this comes to full circle when it comes to, people who are genuinely really inspired to make a difference. And so we met up on, like you said, a Zoom call a few months ago. So a few years ago, I came up with this idea, which was basically, like we're talking now, how can we think of the best solution to, take the food that isn't being used and give it to those who need it? So I currently am the founder of a 501c3 charity, which is called Go Glean. And what our mission is to do is very similar to HungerMitao. That's kind of how I got involved with them, is we take food from any, food entity, which could be households such as ours, or restaurants, or anything of the sort. And we focus on redistributing that food that would be otherwise thrown away or wasted. And we use the support of volunteer drivers, and we take it to local charities that need it. And so I, again, am so inspired by so many other organizations that are, striving towards the same goal. And when I met Mr. Asava and Mrs. Asava, I think the thing that kind of, hit home for me was that they make it very clear and evident that, this is never a competition between, any organization, any entity, because that's kind of what it comes down to sometimes. And our true goal is to, help, fix the problem as much as we can. And entities like this, me being still a high school student and working with an organization that has done so much in 5 years, helps me grow my own organization and see what can I do to improve, and how can we make a better difference together. And so yeah.
Right. No, I think that was a brilliant idea, and I shared with Vioma that Feeding America and others have a similar kind of an idea, so she can collaborate with them. But in the process, when I also spoke to her about HungerMitao and the need for youth to get involved, Vioma was one of the first ones to say, hey, Uncle, count me in. Would love to, help shape this program. So been a important part of today's program. And we really are lucky to have Vioma, Jace, Nikhil, and all of you, to take ownership to this thing, shape this thing. One thing that youth are looking for, which we heard many times, is the socialization aspect, right? So I want to make sure you all are aware, we are going to be cause focused. The cause is hunger that we are trying to eliminate, right? So we encourage socialization around discussion about that cause. So we will have those monthly Zoom calls. Very likely, we will have quarterly in-person meetings. Hopefully the pandemic won't keep us out, So if things are safe, we will meet once a quarter in person at the food bank. Would love to take you all on a tour of the food bank, which is 2 or 3 times the size of Costco. That's how huge it is. Look at the inner workings of the food bank. Would love for you to meet the CEO of the food bank, the COO of the food bank. Right? We will get you connected at all levels. Several of you will be looking for summer opportunities, internship opportunities. It won't happen sitting at home, right? One other benefit that you will get out of being part of this initiative is that you will get connected, you will meet people, right? I mean, the chief marketing officer of NTT Data, the chief digital officer of 7-Eleven, they're all part of the HungerMitao team, right? You'll get connected with them. You'll have an opportunity. You'll bring them in to come and speak to you. Last time we had a interesting thing. There is an organization called FarmLink, which was started by college students. They came in and spoke about how they are making sure that the food that typically gets tilled back into the soil is actually rescued and sent to the food bank, like potatoes and vegetables, etc. So I'm just sharing with you that there will be many opportunities provided to the youth. It's up to you, right? What you make out of it. Viraj has put in his information in the chat session. Thank you, Viraj. And Vioma, thank you very much also for sharing about your passion. Any other questions? I have everybody's email. I will be happy to send this presentation as well as the link to setting up this your page, and we hope to welcome each one of you to be part of the Youth Ambassador program and get the ball rolling.
So Raj, everybody who signs up and creates a page, makes the donation, becomes a part of YAP, will then have access to the 3 people on our steering council who are leading this program, correct?
That is very true. Can they introduce themselves? Who all is on? I know Suvarna is on. Suvarna, would you please greet the team here?
Hi, my name is Suvarna Kadi. I am part of the steering committee for the HungerMitao movement. We meet weekly. We talk about ideas, and youth ambassador program was an idea we created so we could motivate all of you to be the next generation of people who take over and see how how best you can fight hunger. We are hoping to get ideas from all of you and see if how you can drive the program. I think all these ideas have to come from you, and we want you to get involved and feel like part of HungerMitao program.
Great. Thank you so much, Suvarna. Is Juhi on?
Hi, I'm here. Good morning. Thank you to everybody that joined this call. Excited to see so many people on. Like Savarna said, you guys are the future of our program. So looking forward to hearing some great ideas and for everyone to participate. Thank you to all the presenters. This was a fantastic presentation. Very well done. And I look forward to seeing how it progresses.
Thank you, Juhi. Sunita?
Hello, this is Sunita. I am in the steering council of HungerMitao. The presentation was really good. Thanks to everyone. And from this year, I am planning to involve my son also in the Youth Ambassador program. So let us see how it goes. Thank you so much.
Wonderful. Anna, did I miss anyone?
We're just doing the committee, right?
Yeah, just the one...
Youth Ambassador Program Committee. We have several
hello.
others.
Yes,
Hi,
Pawan.
Pawan.
Yeah, I'm here also. So actually, I'm not sure if Pari, Trisha, got to speak or not, but she's here. We are driving to eventually Dallas. So we are on the road, but I wasn't sure if you wanted Pari to speak for a minute or two.
That'd be great.
If she's there, let me give a little background about Pari.
Yeah.
So Pari, that's her nickname. Her real name is Trisha. Just like the CEO of the food bank. Her name is also a little differently. But Pari, while she was still in high school, she used to come with her parents to volunteer at the food bank. She was really shocked to learn about the youth hunger, the children hunger, etc. And the more she volunteered, more she learned the magnitude of the hunger issue. And she would drag her parents out to come and volunteer regularly. Pawan loves to sleep in, but she would not let him do that on Saturday. But nevertheless, not only did she volunteer, when we had our HungerMitao volunteer days, we would be selling HungerMitao t-shirts, the funds again going directly to the food bank. She would take charge of it at a very young age. And that freed us from talking to people and explaining to them about the movement. So Pari has been involved with this all along. She's currently a college-going junior, a sophomore at UT Austin, but still connected with HungerMitao. In fact, her first paycheck, she had made a commitment to her parents that my first paycheck, so much percentage of that, I want to donate to the food bank, to the HungerMitao program. And just last night, she did that. So I just wanted to share that with you. Sorry, I didn't mean to embarrass you, Pari, but
no, thank you.
Go ahead and share a couple minutes what your thoughts are.
Yeah, so I think that a lot of us have grown up really privileged and really fortunate, and my parents have always kind of thought to them, like they've always had this thought that if they're fortunate, it's because they're supposed to take what has been given to them and give back to the community. And so I'm about to be a sophomore at UT Austin, and and I got a job in my second semester, my freshman year. And I thought to myself, I should follow what my parents are doing. And if I'm so fortunate, I should also try and give back to my community and causes that I can be involved in. And so I made the decision to commit a percentage of whatever I make towards NTFB. And what I like about that method is that it's a really easy way to give back. You know, you just take whatever you already have. Sometimes it can be hard to get over the hump of having to plan like a food drive or plan like a bake sale or something to do fundraising. And so it's a really good way to just commit yourself in some way to this cause. And I'm really grateful for the opportunity to be connected to this and to be able to give back in the first place.
Great. Thank you very much, Pari. Really appreciate that. Vyoma, you have a wonderful idea. Do share.
Okay, so since we're finishing up our first, call to action, so we'd love to, take a moment to capture this memory. So if everyone, for those who are comfortable, which we would highly recommend, we would love for you to, turn on your cameras for a few minutes, and so we can take a group picture.
One quick question, Vyoma. I am on my screen, not seeing everybody. What am I doing wrong here?
You have to slide, I think.
Come again?
Go to gallery.
Gallery.
Or in the top right corner, it should say.
Oh, view. Okay, gallery. Got it.
And you can go to gallery mode.
Right. Perfect. Yeah. All right.
Nice. I see a lot of screens turning on. Let's give people maybe 10 more seconds to do that. If not, we would.
Of course.
Manya Shri, you have a very bright light behind you, so we can see your face. Do you want to close the blinds?
Juhi, Shivani, Vishnu Anand. Come on, guys, don't be shy. Let's do it.
Okay, I'm taking one. Pavan, I took yours. Please drive carefully. Okay, now I'm taking the other one here. Awesome.
Awesome. You got it all?
Thank you all. Yeah, great pictures.
Wonderful. It's interesting. We have people still joining in, so I'm not sure we can do anything about that. But safe to say, we are going to send this presentation out to everyone who registered, right, with a clear instructions of what they can do to sign up to the page and so on and so forth. And very likely our monthly meeting will be a Sunday meeting like this. We'll figure out. We'll ask you, we'll poll you also, and maybe very likely it'll be Sunday 11 to 12, 1 hour, once a month, maybe third Sunday, something like that. So stay tuned on that. But folks, we are officially launching YAP today, now. Give a big round to each other. Awesome. Excellent. Thank you very much. And have a wonderful rest of the Sunday.